Hi guys. I'm hoping I'm live already. This is the first 5 minutes of every stream I ever do solo where I'm setting everything up, and currently I'm eating. I had to do a pizza pickup beforehand, but we're here. I'm making sure everything's running. I've got you guys running on my old gaming PC right here, as we can see, and we are currently in my dad's man cave, which doesn't get used very often ever since he passed. So yeah, it's a nice quiet area, and we're connected directly into my modem, so hopefully nothing will die. Hi Matt, how you doing? I've got the stream right here being controlled on my early 2008 MacBook, and it's looking pretty good right now. I can't complain about it. Stream health says it's excellent, and we're streaming at 720p, so that's awesome. So excuse me while I eat a little bit more. Hmm. Well, my MacBook froze online. We might have to switch over to this. Yeah, it's still good there. I'm doing great, Matt. I'm doing very good. Unable to connect to chat. My Wi-Fi is going out again. I'm glad I'm wired in. Um, that's annoying. It's the whole reason why I had this thing out. Anyway, yeah, we got another less than 3 minutes before the stream. Let's see here. Try to refresh this page on my MacBook. I might just have to look at the monitor over here, which would be annoying. Hi Brock, how you doing? We've got 5 viewers so far. Not bad for the first 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to rely on, because I can't get this thing to stay on. Darn Wi-Fi. We'll just shut that off. And I'll stare at this screen. Hi, Starbuck Gaming. So yeah, I'm still sitting up. I'm eating. Sorry that I'm eating on camera, but this was a last second kind of thing. So I'll just try to do it off camera. I'm doing good, Brock. Doing very well. Let's see here. Screen and screen. And that doesn't help me. Screen. Yeah, it's not going to work. Well, good thing I still have a minute to set this up in. Maybe if I do... Yeah, that works. That way I can see it running on here too. Hi Jay, how you doing? So yeah, it's about time for us to actually start up. And I'm still eating, sorry. Okay. So yeah, I still got a few seconds. Yeah. Sorry. So it's officially 8 o'clock. It's the beginning of the episode. Today I am taking over Mac Yak. GT couldn't be here. So we always stream off of his internet through Skype call and stuff, and he couldn't be on, so he wasn't home. So we decided that we're going to do a few solo streams coming up. We are having one more regular Mac Yak next week, but GT is going to be moving the next 2 weeks, so we'll be doing solo streams. Then two, I'm the first solo stream today, then our regular, and then 2 other solo streams that are going to be done by Steve. But Steve and I might actually be doing a combo. We're both going to be on at the same time, depending on how that works out. But yeah, so today we're going to have a Hrutkay Mods video today. So, hi, I'm Greg Hrutkay Mods, and Mac Yak. Welcome to Q&A number 6, where anyone can ask me anything, basically, mostly pertaining to Macs, a few personal things, nothing too personal. But yeah, it's just a regular Q&A episode like I run on my channel all the time. The last one was, I think, December 29th. So it's been a very long time, but yeah. So you guys can ask anything, and also don't forget, before the end of the video, if you look in the description of this video right now, wait a second, excuse me. If you look in the description of the video right now, I have a link to a video that will premiere at the end of this video on my channel. So stick around for that. I have it set up so I can change it really quick to premiere the second this ends. Well, it's going to be a few minutes so people can file in and stuff. But I have it set up that way so I can just change the time and it will premiere, and we can hang out for that too. Don't know how long the stream will last. My streams, my Q&As are usually an hour long, but you know, Mac Yak's 2 hours long, so we'll see if we can stretch it out 2 hours. I'm going to need a lot of questions. And it can also pertain to Mac Yak. I can probably answer a lot of those. Plus, we've got most of Mac Yak in the chat tonight. Hi, guys. So that will also work well. So if, you know, you have a question I can't answer, they probably can. So anyway, if that's basically the good intro there. We're already 3 minutes in of the official video, and it's looking very good. Stream's very good, and quality seems pretty decent. I can't really watch it on anything else because I have nothing else hardwired. But on here, it's good. It's hardwired twice. I've got it into 2 different Ethernets on this thing, so if one fails, the other one will hopefully pick up the slack. So, cheers. Oh yeah. Anyway, so it's question time. And let's see here. What is with all the blood and guts everywhere, guys? Come on. Is it is it R-rated because of the blood? Come on, Dana. Hi, GT. GT's on chat. Beer 30. Yeah, it is Beer 30. What was the first Mac you personally purchased? Not my first Mac, but the one I personally purchased. Steve, I've answered this one a few times before, but it's always a good one to talk about. The first one I personally purchased was an iMac G4, which was in disrepair, and at the time I was still a hardcore PC guy, and I didn't really see the value of it. Now that I do, it hurts me because it was a 1.25, but it was broken and probably not worth repairing. And that became my G4 iMac lamp, the iLamp. I turned it into a lamp. It had FireWire chargers and all that stuff in it. That was the first personal Mac I bought, but the first Mac that I actually used, that I bought. First Mac I used was a Macintosh Plus when I was really young, which I still have upstairs. Sorry, I'm a little gassy. Darn pizza. But anyway, the first Mac I ever actually used was my 1 gigahertz iMac G4, which is headless, which it uses a VGA monitor with the VGA out and stuff on it. It was a spare parts system, and I combined the two. The first one I bought, the leftover parts of that, and the parts I needed from this one to finish that lamp into one working machine without a screen. And that's what got me hooked on the Mac. And then shortly thereafter, a few months later, I got graduation money and bought a early 2009 MacBook, and the rest is history. I just kept on buying and buying and buying, and I think I'm getting close to, I've lost count, I'm probably getting close to 80 Macs now. And I know, Steve, you've got a problem. You've got over, like, what, 200? So I'm nowhere near there yet, but I will be eventually, and it's just good I have a lot of storage now. But yeah, that was the first Mac I ever personally bought. GT says, why are you using Windows to stream Mac Yak tonight? Because GT, this is the most powerful system I have and the most reliable system I have. And I've always set my streams up, except for the most recent one, which was on my MacBook Pro, and one on my iPhone. But other than that, they've all been basically streaming off of this. But I was using the webcam renderer in the browser, and now I'm actually using a real dedicated OBS because, well, you can't just use webcam rendering on a pre-set up thing now. So yeah. But yeah, that's why I'm using Windows, because if I could Hackintosh this thing, I would. But I'm really bad at Hackintoshing. Really, really bad at Hackintoshing. I actually built a Hackintosh about this time last year, and I had all compatible hardware and stuff and never could get it to boot. So I never made the video on it. And I've got a 8th gen system, i3 I think, which is just sitting collecting dust because I can't do anything with it currently. It does run Windows well, but that defeats the purpose of making a Hackintosh. So yeah, if I could Hackintosh it, I probably would. This thing's got an i7-3960 in it. It could really perform. My Mac Pro's still not very stable. That's why I'm not using it. Plus, this thing's probably about as powerful in its current state. So, yeah, that's why. Let's see here. Any progress with Sierra on the 1,1, 2,1 Mac Pros? I know it's been a while since that video, but still. Well, Matt, yeah, there's still no progress on it. At this point, I don't think anyone's going to actually do it. Technically, if someone could make an emulation layer to emulate SSE 4.1, it could be done, but that would really, really throttle down the CPUs. It would really overload them with a lot of overhead and stuff. And it would have to be some incredible code to make it run right. So I don't ever see it really happening, sadly. But who knows? One day we might be surprised. But currently, the 3,1 or newer is the only pros that can run Sierra and higher. So yeah, it sucks. But currently, there's still nothing going on with the 1,1, 2,1, sadly. By the way, is the audio good, guys? I'm hearing my dogs playing upstairs. They're making a whole lot of racket right now. But yeah, let's see here. If I give you a TAM free, will you smear resin on your mustache and set it on fire? Probably not, but I'll shave it off for you, Jay. You got a free tam? I'll take it gladly. Grooty needs his own boneyard. I am getting one slowly, James. I still got a pile of Mac parts in my garage in my house, my old house, which I haven't finished moving out of yet. I'm getting a huge collection of Mac parts. I don't plan on calling it a boneyard, though, but yeah. Audio's good, good. Oh, Ken's on. Hi, Ken. Yeah, yeah, Jay's just joking about the TAM. But Ken got himself a nice little TAM at that computer expo. I'm really jealous, man. He also got a Next Cube, which I'm even more jealous about that, I think. It was a really good deal, Ken. Uh, yeah, Ken's saving that TAM for a special occasion. I'm not going to spoil it, but I know what the special occasion is, which is pretty neat. And I'm glad he might be able to do that. So, congrats, Ken, on that. It's really hard to see this. It'd be easier if this screen was over here. But I was originally going to have this here and just look down. And with no Wi-Fi, yeah. And if you're playing Steve's game right now, it's time to take a shot. I mentioned Wi-Fi. So that's 2 shots there. Oh. Nick, you've got bases to power CDs? Really? That'd be cool. Looks like Steve could use some. So anyway, guys, what do you want to talk about? We've been going officially for 12 minutes. And we're not talking a whole lot about a whole lot of things. So this might be a short episode. And I say this all the time, it still lasts at least an hour. But still, come on, let's talk about something while I take a bite of pizza. It's getting cold. My question is, where is the firmware chip located on the 4,1, 5,1? Brock, there's I think 2 SMC chips. There's one on the back plane and one on the tray. And the SMCs have to match. The EFI part of it, I think that's I'm not sure where that is, honestly. I've never actually looked for it. When you flash a system, I'd say it's on the back plane, come to think of it, because you have to flash the system before swapping out CPUs, and if you order a tray, it's got to be flashed before you do that. So it's probably on the back plane. Oh no, don't eat while you're talking. That's going to make you gassy. Yeah, I can. I've already been eating while talking, and I am gassy. TMI, I know. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, Nick, keep in touch with Steve. I'm sure Steve would be very happy. Nice, GT. The most I'm drinking is just a Modelo, so... Oh, yeah, right. I forgot. Nick found a giant Mac hoard the other day, and I don't know if he shared it yet. But so sorry, I'm spoiling that for him. He found a giant Mac horde, and I think he got a lot of systems out of it. I'm jealous, Nick. Very, very jealous. Let's see here. Any plans like Che? Any plans to get your video releases on a steady schedule? Yeah, I'm actually planning on actually getting them on a steady schedule. Because even though right now my videos are very echoey because my studio is still broken, the walls, half of the outlets don't work. Don't know why. So there's no point in putting anything in there, considering the electrician might have to rip out the walls for all I know. So there's nothing in there and everything echoes really bad. But other than the echo problem, I plan on filming in there as much as I can. I've already filmed technically 2 videos in there. The announcement video for this video, which was 2 minutes, and the next video, which comes out at the end of this stream. Don't forget, guys, at the end of the stream, check the description below. There will be a link to that, and I'll set it up as a premiere, and we'll watch it together. But yeah, I filmed that one too. That's, I think, about a 20-minute long video. It's feature-packed, but it echoes really bad, and I apologize for that. My next few videos are going to be pretty echoey, I think, because I'm going to keep on filming. I want to get a lot of material out to make up for the 3 months I'm not making much of anything. So, yeah. One a month, all I ask. I'm going to make more than one a month, Jay. Excuse me. So, let's see here. Yeah, Hackintosh, Catalina, and Dell laptop at the moment all works except NVIDIA Optimus card. What is an Optimus card? It's been a while since I've really been in with NVIDIA. The most recent cards I have are Pascal cards. I'm figuring that's a pretty big card, but yeah, either way, it's still no driver support, which really, really sucks. I really wish they'd bring back NVIDIA on web drivers and stuff, but it's not NVIDIA's fault. It's Apple's fault. They won't sign them. But yeah, that sucks. But it's cool that it's working on it otherwise. So you already have a giant Mac horde. Let's see here. Nick, you're planning on spreading the Macs through the community. Keep me in mind, even though I'm sure a few of them might be expensive to ship from California. Keep me in mind. Let's see here. What is an Apple accessory that you want but haven't gotten your hands on yet? Steve, do you mean like Apple accessory as in third party or Apple accessory as in first party? Because there are not a whole lot of first party ones. Duo dock would be kind of neat, but I really don't have much of a urge to get a Duo dock. Aftermarket, I have most of the stuff I'd want. There are a few things out there that I can't think of right offhand that I know I really do want. I just don't have, so or can't find. So yeah, there's a few things out there, but I've got stuff like Sonnet G4s and stuff, and interesting things like those capture devices that I just haven't actually used yet. Sorry, my dogs are making a racket. But yeah, there's some things out there, but not a whole lot. Oh, I can think of one third-party thing that I do want, which I don't have yet. Because, one, you can't find them, and two, I need a Mac to stick it into. but if I found one, I'd buy it immediately. And that would be a Voodoo card for a Revision A or B iMac G3 tray load, the Bondi blue ones. I'd love to have a Voodoo card for the mezzanine slot in that. That would be awesome. And those things are extremely expensive and extremely rare and hard to find. But, you know, I might get lucky one day. Who knows? And if I have to buy the card before I buy the system, so be it. I'll do it. And actually, I do want an iPod Hi-Fi really, really bad. I've always wanted one since they were new. I just saw that, Steve. I do want one of those. I never had one. I I really want one of those. Those are really cool. Never can find them in really good shape, though. MacSaver fan for a compact Mac. Nick, I've got three technically. One of them is a MacSaver, and the other two are Mac Be Cools, which were a lot rarer than MacSavers. One Mac Be Cool came with the Macintosh Plus from my childhood, and the other one I bought when I bought a Macintosh Plus to have one that worked. So I've got three MacSavers, although two of them aren't technically MacSavers. They do the same thing. In fact, the MacSaver I have still has the original box and all the stuff that came with it, which is pretty neat. All right, Grooty, Mac Yak Premiere, grab something Mac related that you have sealed in original packaging and open it on stream. I don't have anything sealed currently that I can think of right offhand. I might, come to think of it, but not currently with me or anywhere near me right now. I think they're still sitting up in my old house. Otherwise, we'd do that. Honestly, it'd be kind of fun on here. I have a TV tuner card with remote. It only works on PCIX slots. That's cool, Brock. Yeah, they also had FireWire external boxes. I've got three of them now. And the last one's got a digital QAM compatibility. It was for a G5 Mac and later, which is really neat. So it can still work on today's digital TV. Pretty cool. Cool, Steve. You have an image writer and Apple Talk, and oh, that's neat, man. Ben got a legit copy of Leopard and a box set with an iPhone 5. That's cool, man. That's real neat. I'd love to have a legit copy of Leopard. I don't have one. In fact, the only legit copy I can think of that I might have, I think I might have a Tiger disc laying around somewhere, and I've got some OS 9 discs. But other than that, all the rest of mine are either burned from Macintosh Garden or came with my Macs that I bought. They're just the Mac specific install media. So, yeah. That's really cool, Ben. Do you have any suggestions for a Mac Pro 1,1 Wi-Fi card with AirDrop support? Yeah, Matt, as long as you're running, I think it's Yosemite or later, aka Yosemite or El Capitan, any of the, I forget what the card's called, It was the card that was very popular in, well, it came in the 2014 iMac. I can't remember the card right offhand, but it's got the 4 antenna adapters that you need for it. And you don't even need any special things. The Bluetooth should even work for it. On the 1,1 through 3,1, the mini PCIe thing actually had USB built into it. The only thing you would need is the adapter to plug the card into, and then you can just plug the antennas into it, and you'd have handoff and continuity and all that stuff. I I had that in my Mac Pro, and then I moved that to my 3,1. It was actually a Mac OSXWiFi.com card, which at the time they were a lot cheaper back then, but still really overpriced. I bought that back in like 2016. They were a heck of a lot cheaper. They're way overpriced now. But I moved that card from that to a 3,1, and then I had I had to order the adapter cable to move it over to my 4,1 for the USB. And that was like 30 bucks. That's way too much for that too. I should have made one. But I already had the card, so why not buy the actual real adapter? But that is the card that you'll want to use. The one that's from the 2014 iMac, whichever one that is. So I hope that helps. Man, I've got a an image of 5.6, but thank you. That's actually the image I've been using for years. I think I got that from Macintosh Garden, in fact. So yeah, but thank you. That's a very generous offer there. Let's see here. Yeah, Matt. Yeah, it will work in El Capitan. So just get that card and the adapter for it. They're pretty easy to find, and it's really cheap. It's maybe a max of 25, 30 bucks, if that. So yeah, it's a good investment if you want those features. Yeah, definitely don't spend $170 on it, Matt. Yeah, it's not worth it. Get the adapter and the card. You can get them off of eBay. You can even order them off of Amazon, I think. They're pretty easy to find. They're real cheap. But make sure it's that specific one that's from the 2014 iMac. The other cards that would be compatible won't be compatible with the antenna adapters because they use smaller connectors on them. So if you want to use your antennas, you'd have to use external antenna. That would be a pain. Yeah, no problem. You're quite welcome, Matt. What is your favorite Mac OS? That's a really hard one there, Starbuck Gaming. There's a lot of them. The first modern one I used was Leopard. Because the hard drive for the iMac G4 I talked about earlier, um, I got that thing broken. I special ordered one off of eBay, already set up because back then I didn't know how to set those drives up. And the Leopard was the first one I used. I like Leopard a lot, but Snow Leopard's really great. But honestly, Tiger for PowerPC is the best OS 10 for PowerPC anyway. And I have a very soft spot for it because it's got classic and all that stuff on it. But really can't pick a favorite Mac OS. I have a lot of ones I like. 9.22, pretty good. 8.6, very stable, very good. I haven't really used any earlier ones a whole lot. Um, a little bit with the Mac Pluses, but I really haven't used them a whole lot. So I can't really say a whole lot about those. But 8.6, 922, let's see here. probably 10.4 for PowerPC. The Intel version is not really worth a whole lot. It's pretty crappy, in my opinion anyway. 10.5 for PowerPC, 10.6 for Intel, and I didn't really get to use 10.8 or 10.9 a whole lot. I've used 10.7 a little bit. I don't like it. 10.8 and 9 I have used some, but it's, yeah, I understand why people like 10.9, but really the first modern one I used was what came on my MacBook when I bought it used, and that would have been Yosemite. I liked Yosemite, but it was a resource hog and very slow. And so if we're talking about really modern ones, I would have to go with, it's like a three-way tie, really. El Capitan for reliability and speed. High Sierra for also reliability and speed, but of course it doesn't work on some older systems. And Mojave, because it's pretty darn quick, even patched with patched graphics. I really like Mojave. It was a very good operating system. So far, I'm not a huge fan of Catalina, but that's how I feel about Mac OSs. And yes, I have used 10.0 through 10.3 too. I'm not a huge fan of those. 10.2 is kind of nice. I do kind of like 10.2, but it's any system I have that can run 10.2, even if I have to hack it, I'll put 10.4 on it, including unsupported G3 systems. I'll put 10.4 on it, even if it does run kind of slow and crappy. You get a better experience with support and stuff for software, and so yeah. So yeah, I really rambled on that one. I need an HTML and Flash compatible browser. I'm not really sure, Ben, with the HTML and Flash compatible browser. There's not many out there anymore, and the ones I can think of are very, very old. Probably won't really work with modern web. Super great now. A lot has changed the last year and a half in the modern web. I know they killed it off in Firefox last year, I think. I don't know. It might still work in Chrome, but I'm not a huge fan of Chrome. Chromium, try Chromium and see if it's got a plugin or something for it. It's a little, of course, it's kind of like Chrome. It's based on the same code, but it's better. It's, it's open source and all that stuff, and a lot more customizable. And see if Chromium has it. That's Safari, I think, had it until recently too, but I don't think Safari does either now. Brock, 2014 MacBook Pro near me, 375, but USB ports do not work. Easy fix or pass? USB ports not working. See what Jay thinks on that, Jay. It might be an easy fix, but let's see here. I'm thinking back to a Louis Rossmann video where he was repairing a fried USB controller, and the USB controller was so fried that it actually had blown a hole in the board, and or no, that might have been Thunderbolt. Yeah, that was Thunderbolt. It blew a hole in the board and killed off the Thunderbolt. But I don't know. It might be worth it if the other ports work at least. And I don't know. Jay says it's a potentially easy fix. So, it's up to you if you want to take the gamble. Catalina 10.15.2 has support for AMD 5700 XT. Yes, it does, although I don't think they've even talked about that yet. It will, but the betas for .1 do, so that's cool. If something fried the ports, it's a simple controller swap. There you go, Brock. Nah, I don't replace those things. I fix them. Yeah, he does. In fact, Jay was actually before he started repairing boards, he was an Apple genius. He worked for Apple for many years. He met Steve Jobs a few times. Lucky bastard. Although I heard that Steve Jobs was actually an interesting fellow to meet in person, especially to his employees. So, yeah. Noah, teach me your ways. So yeah, currently we've been streaming, I have no clue how long now. 36 minutes officially. Where is the stream thingy on here? I've never used this version of the stream. This is the new YouTube Studio Beta stuff. And the Studio Beta stuff still kind of confusing to me. It's not focusing. Sorry. This is also a new webcam that I specifically bought for this, and I will be using for the streams in the future. And I've got this aimed the wrong way now. There we go. That's better. So, yeah. I didn't know Jay met Jobs. What? Yeah, he met Jobs a few times. Steve's met Wozniak a few times. I am not sure, Brock, about the 670 with the boot ROM. I know at that time they were still sort of transitioning away from PCIe 2 and stuff. And some controllers are just report funny. I'm sure it's still running at PCIe 2 speeds, even though it's reporting at 2.5. It's still probably running at 5. Oh, there you go. Steve also saw Jobs. He didn't meet him. The Job Squad. I'd love to get Woz on Apple Vintage Vault. I always say that wrong. Sorry. Apple Vintage Apple Vault. Wonder how much that would cost. You know, Woz loves talking about stuff, and I don't know. He might not even charge for it, honestly. You just have to probably get a hold of his publicist or something, Ken. That would be cool if you could do like a Apple II. I'm getting all my Apple IIs mixed up right now. If you could do an Apple II video, that would be cool. I really want to get an Apple II. You've done Apple II videos in the past. You could do an Apple Vintage Vault on that. I'm sure. Vintage Apple Vault. Sorry, I keep doing that. I even did that on the announcement that one time. But yeah, it's that would be cool to get Woz to talk about an Apple II or something. Definitely. Who will have walls first, Mac Yak or Crazy Ken? Oh, Jay. Yeah, yeah. He does. He's from Ken. From what I hear, Waz is very genuine. He just loves talking about that stuff. And if he might just really want to help you out. And if anything, I doubt it would cost a whole lot. If anything, um, shoot, I'd even help you if I can. I'd even help you get him. Possibly that'd be pretty cool to have Waz on your channel. Steve, of course you know someone that has his number. Yeah, I don't know his info on that, Ken. I'm sure you can probably find it online somewhere. That would be cool for sure. Okay, so we've been on for 41 minutes now. Um, there's stream seems to be cutting down a little bit. I am going to probably start setting up the premiere video for at least 10, but probably sooner than that if we don't get some questions. In fact, I'm going to start up my MacBook again and see if I can get Wi-Fi on it so I can set that video so it's set to premiere. But yeah, let's keep going. Keep getting those questions out there, guys. And, I might have to push the premiere back. But right now I'm thinking by 9:30 at this rate, we'll be doing the premiere. And it's a 20-minute premiere, so I don't want to do that, though, if we keep getting questions. Let's see here. Yeah, yeah, that would even be better if you could bring the production to him, Ken, for sure. 79 minutes to go, Greg. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to make it, Jay. This is starting to slow down. And it's really, really hard to keep staring over here to look things up when I'm looking at the camera here. Which is kind of boring because I'm just looking at a tripod with a webcam on it. I need like something behind it, like a clown face jumping around or something to keep me focused on you guys. It's a little boring staring at this with nothing else to stare at. So, yeah, sorry I keep looking away. Let's see here. BCM 94360 CD. That sounds about right. Let me see real quick. Hopefully I don't end the stream doing this. D. Let's see here. Yeah, it should be at the 94360 CD with the 4 antenna connectors on it. This one right here. That should be it. That's the one you're looking for right there. What are you blaming on my janky setup there, Jay? I'll volunteer to dance behind the tripod. Oh, I forgot to re-aim the camera, sorry. There we go. That's better. All right. Yeah, this looking this way is really hurting my neck too. Is the stream down, guys? It still says I have an excellent connection and everything seems to be good. Are we still online, guys? Why is everyone saying the stream's down? You're starting to make me panic here. Hey! Yeah, the stream is fine. Jeez. You guys suck. Wow, this is getting warm. Yeah. Yes, it's fine. Have some cold pizza. Let's see here. James, you're seeing snow, as in physical snow. I saw snow last night, believe it or not, when I was walking the dogs. It was just a really, really light flurry, and then it was all gone. It could have been rain, but it wasn't. It was floating. So, yeah, I saw the first snow for this area last night. It wasn't exciting, but yeah, I'm not looking forward to winter. I hate winter. It's always a really down time for me. But now that I have a place where I can film and stuff, I can keep myself occupied, I'm sure, even though I have to walk next door in the snow to get there every day. That's going to be fun. Especially since I'll also probably be babysitting 2 dogs. But I have a dedicated area where I can have them too. So I can film, take the dogs out, film, take the dogs out, finish everything up, go back to the house, and then edit, take the dogs out, edit, take the dogs out, and then upload. So I'm the polar opposite. Winter is my favorite season. Matt, yeah, it was once upon a time for me, but I'm one of those guys that get cabin fever, and I'll be honest with you, I get a little depressed. It's a really rough time for me. I can't stand winter whatsoever. And I also, once upon a time, a few years ago, there was a big storm, and it dumped like 1.5 feet of snow in my driveway, and I didn't have a snowblower at the time. I had to shovel that thing. It took me 2 hours to shovel it all out. And that day I was like, I don't like snow anymore. Because I used to love snow. I couldn't wait for snow. And after shoveling that for 2 hours, ooh, yeah, winter and I are not friends. Although I will admit, going out and mudding in an ATV or something like that in snow is really fun. I love doing that. That's the only thing I really like about winter. Thing is, I can never get snow when I want it. So, yeah. I love everything except summer. Dana, why is that? Summer, sure, it's hot and miserable, but it's also sunny, and I like sun. Get it? Polar opposite. Ah, dad jokes. That's a good one, Matt. That's a very good one. See, Ken doesn't like winter either. Then again, you're up in like Wisconsin. That's even worse. I feel for you, man. Winter friend request denied. And New Jersey can get hit pretty darn hard too, Steve. I'm glad I live somewhere towards the south, so I don't get hit as bad usually, but I still get hit. Scion XBs are surprisingly good snowmobiles. I bet. I bet. Front wheel drive, skinny, tiny tires. I bet. You can get sun in spring and fall too without the awful heat. Yeah, but Dana, in fall you also get winter. I swear, last night it was winter and it's still fall. So I'm already getting depressed. Yeah. I like I said, I just can't stand winter anymore. I used to look forward to snow days for school, but I'm not in school anymore. So, oh, I have a question. How do I clean the pins of a 4,1 dual processor socket? I'm struggling to get the second CPU to boot, and I want to try cleaning the socket and contacts next. You gotta be really careful doing that. Super careful. And if you're having problems booting with it, there's a possibility the socket's already damaged. But if it isn't, and you see something, you have to be super careful, like really careful, because one little bent pin, whole thing, of course, won't work, and it is a pain to straighten those pins. And if you break one off, you've got to send it to someone to get the socket replaced. So be super careful trying to clean it. I can't really think of how you could do it. Light compressed air, nothing too hard. Not against the pins, but towards the pins. You have to be real careful. Maybe a cotton bud with some alcohol. Really careful on the pins. You gotta be super careful. And like I said, if you're already having problems, the socket might already be damaged. So you gotta keep that in mind. Tires are fat, just not tall. Well, I've never really looked at an XB super close. I just always assume since they're so tiny tires, they're pretty skinny too. If they're fat, it still probably doesn't handle super great, but then again, it's front wheel drive. It might be pretty fun. Dana says, I have no idea why, but I thought Ken was in Nevada. Shrug. Yeah, he's in Wisconsin, Dana. I don't think he really shares that a whole lot, but it's a semi-known thing out there. I fried a G5 due to bent pins. Yes, Nick, you did. You really fried that G5. I felt so bad for it. Yeah, Jay, the chances that he has an ultrasonic cleaner, you know. And also, Noah, one other thing about the socket, you may not even see the damage. You'll have to, if it is damaged, this is only if it is damaged. Sometimes the socket looks fine, but if you look at it at certain angles with the just the right amount of light, you can see some kind of imperfection in the way the pins are laid out. If you see that, well, one thing, like if they're smashed down, if the socket's not already been crushed or something by tightening the CPU wrong or something, you might be able to get those pins up, but it's going to take a very long time to do that. And you got to be super careful. I like to use a sewing needle to straighten pins, and I've done that many times with some Power PC systems. And I modified a 775 PC board once for 771 and scraped the edge of a razor blade across a few of the pins, which really hurt when I did that. but I managed to get the pins back down and straightened just enough where it made contact. Yeah, you gotta be careful modifying sockets too. But it just really careful with a little needle to straighten them out. And it can be time consuming, and you have to take your time to do it. Okay, and Jay says don't use cotton swabs. I've never physically, I've just blown them basically with compressed air, but you gotta be careful doing that. A power wagon bogged down, the mighty bucks kept grunting by. That's actually pretty impressive, Jay. James, if you managed to get past the power wagon. But then again, I used to do road trips in Ohio snow to take my girlfriend to and back from school and stuff for holidays and stuff. And one time I was driving an old Toyota Matrix with bald front tires through a blizzard and managed to just scoot right through. Pretty long drive. It took like, it was like on average that drive takes maybe 4 or 5 hours, and that drive took me a good probably 12. But I just kept on scooting right by people in snowbanks and all that stuff. And I was still making pretty decent time. I was doing probably about 40, which was probably still too quick. But I just kept on scooting by people. Front wheel drive, small Toyota, well, it is a Toyota technically. But Japanese cars do tend to go through snow impressively. I've even done it in a Honda Civic a few times. But yeah, it's impressive, and it is a little fun to do. I do like driving in snow. It's the only thing I like about winter, really. Matt, I have a 2007 Mac Mini running El Capitan. Blah blah blah. Menu bar transparent. No. There's still never been a driver that's been written for it. And without the video drivers for it, you just can't do it. There might be a theme for it that you could use, but that's just going to slow down the system more. And without graphics acceleration in the first place, you really don't want to lose any more speed on, having some kind of theme. So, yeah, sorry, you can't really do transparent with no graphics support. Jay's Xers probably way more than XB. Probably. When is the Xserve series starting, Greg? It's not starting, Jay, although I do have two Xserves. I have a dual 1 gigahertz and a dual 133 gigahertz G4. The first one, which is the tray load, and the second one, which is the slot load. And I'm going to be putting those into the PowerPC series. I've got the dual 1 gigahertz already set up like an extremely loud gaming Mac, which is hilarious. I've got USB audio and Wi-Fi and everything. And I'm going to be doing some videos on it eventually. But the other one I want to set up first before I start doing videos so I can do a comparison between the two. And even though they had similar hardware, they are vastly different. So I want to... it may not be part of the PowerPC series, but I'm not making an Xserve series, Jay. It will just be a separate part of a two-parter episode or something. So... Hondas are built here in Ohio, so they well ought to handle the snow. Yeah, it's true. It is very true. Yeah, Matt, Launchpad taking 20 seconds to open. That's all the acceleration things, and Trust me, you don't want to make it any slower if you don't have to. It's like getting Aero on Win 7 from a Radeon 7000. Yep. It's also like getting it from a 64 meg FX 5200. Painful. It will do it, but it's painful. We the people, you spell it actually says we the people demand an XR series. You're not getting an XR series, Jay. But I will be doing videos on it, I promise. It's going to be fun. But I don't want any G5 excerpts, really. Although I do see the appeal of them now that I've had two. They are really fun to play with. But they also take up so much space. They take up a lot of space, Jay. They take up a heck of a lot of space. So it's 9 o'clock, guys. It's been, we're an hour into the stream. Should we try to continue on, or should we start wrapping it up? I also forgot to fix that video. What do you guys think? Too warm now. Oh, God. Whoa. Now I'm watching myself react to that. Yeah, the delay is still a little. It's funny. This here. I have a number of old Intel iMacs from Core Duo up to Core 2 Duo. Most have bad logic boards or GPUs. Is it more cost effective for me to fix them and sell them, or just part them out? Part them out. If they do work, at least well enough to be used, honestly, those systems, and I know this is sacrilegious, I get this all the time, those systems still run Windows 10 very nicely. So even if you can't get a modern day operating system, a Mac operating system, you can still get the latest version of Windows 10 to run nicely on them. But if they are definitely broken, bad logic boards and stuff, they're not really worth a whole lot. They're better to be parted out. You'll probably make more money parting them out, especially with LCDs and stuff, because people need LCDs all the time. I needed LCDs when my table collapsed and all the iMacs went with them. I went through a few LCDs there. Let's see here. I'm going to try to bring that video up here. Let's see here. Yeah, let's see here. Today I ate some super hot horseradish that shot right through my nose. Oh, and it's on camera. That's good. I want to see that. I definitely want to see that. I'm totally open to any request for Patreon only clips. Oh, Ken, I wouldn't say that. Yeah, sauce was whoa. I bet it was. Yeah, I don't have a video of the table collapsing, James. I wish I did. That would have been... It's very cringy. Just hear a loud crash and walk downstairs and everything's just laying on the floor face down. A lot of casualties there, including my iMac G4 800 that ended up in the Ken Vintage Apple Vault Volume 2 episode. That was actually from after I'd rebuilt the thing. I still have two iMacs that are dead. They both have bad LCDs. Both got shattered in the fall. It was not pretty. I'm open to a bit, but don't go that far. Exactly. You need to specify that there. Let's see here. Oh, the iMac G4. Yeah. Yeah, that episode, that's probably one of my favorite, especially since I got featured in it. That was cool. Thank you again, Ken, on that. Yeah, it was a big collab video for sure. Let's see here. I need to... Do I have my sound on this? Oh, cool. I can finally see my feed on here. And there it is. You can see it right there. But yeah. So, set this video up real quick. Edit. Oh my God, people are asking what SGI is. Silicon Graphics. It was a company back in the 80s and 90s that made the CGI for movies and stuff. They made a lot of really cool computers that were all RISC-based. And they are really cool computers. And you can see their images and stuff in the T-1000 in Terminator 2 when he goes all liquidy and stuff. And I think they did Jurassic Park stuff. And they specialized in those graphics and sold those computers to firms that specialized in doing graphics and images and stuff. Oh, that's why this looks funny. This defaulted back to YouTube beta. I still cannot stand beta. It's still too confusing, and I'm afraid I'm going to click something wrong. There we go. Set this to, let's see here, it's 9:08. I think we'll probably be finished by 9:30. So I'm going to set this currently for 9:45 for Premiere, and we'll push it back if we have to. So at 9:45, we'll be doing a Premiere if the video's over on that link in the description. So I'm going to set up for the Premiere right now, and anyone that's subscribed to me, hopefully everyone that's on this channel has been subscribed to me, should have gotten the notification right now that Premiere is coming on at 9:45. All right, so cool. Yep, yeah. Oh, and that reminds me, you could also see SGI systems in Jurassic Park. The computers were SGI systems. If you look close enough, a lot of them were SGI systems. Oh, James even said that. Sorry, I just literally looked at that. It's funny. The real star of Jurassic Park was the Quadro 700. You mean the one where they were playing the QuickTime video of the live feed? Yeah. Let's see here. I just got a text from someone. Well, I just got a text. Colin, Ken, and I have been doing a group text, and we've all been talking about his most recent video. Ken, when he was doing the Catalina thing, I actually suggested that for him to do that. He also thanked me in the credits, so thank you, Ken. But yeah, all the problems. Colin just explained why it might have been doing it. That's interesting. So let's see here. All right, I need to check one thing real quick here, guys. And it's not doing it. Why is it not showing me? Maybe. Oh, yeah, I'm logged into the wrong account. No wonder it's not showing me. It's a problem when you have like 4 different accounts linked to one account. There we go. It's still not showing it to me. There it is. Yeah, the premiere's officially out there at 9:45. We'll push it back if we have to. I've got the thing sitting in my lap, so I can change the time if we have to. But currently, we'll be premiering at 9:45. The video's over. So just check it out on that link. And where did I leave off at? Oh my God, computers in movies, like, I know it doesn't really matter to most people, but wow. I know, it's really neat to see some of those. I agree totally, like the PowerBook from Independence Day, which is still the corniest thing to think that a 90s PowerBook can take down all those alien spaceships, but still, that was a good one too. How would you suggest fixing mess-up handles on the Mac Pro? It's a little dinged up from shipping damage. What I did is I stood on it and I jumped up and down on it until it shaped into a place where it would at least stand upright, because my 1,1 got mangled. It looked like they used it for basketball practice. And in one of my first Mac Pro videos, you can see the before pictures. They were bad. But honestly, I wouldn't recommend jumping up and down on it, but that's what I did. What you need is, you can search for it online. There's a lot of metal bending tutorials and stuff. You can use like 2x4s and stuff, but you also got to be careful about denting other parts of the case doing it. It can be very time consuming, but in the end it can be worth it. But then again, as long as the computer works, I'm one of those people that looks is a secondary thing. I want the actual computer to work. That's why my first Mac Pro still leans to the left a little bit, and why the top handle's bent upwards. It works. That's all that really matters. So yeah, it can be a pretty rough job to get those things straight, but it can also be good. I'm actually thinking of pop riveting mine together, but if you want, you can actually use like JB Weld and stuff to hold it together. So yeah, it's possible to straighten them back out. It's just not fun. Let's see here. Dude, the PowerBook XXXXX. Yeah, exactly. That was great. I can't remember what it was, like a 5200 or something. It was the prototype of it. It was great. Yeah, I forgot. Hap did have one of those. It was a great video. I have always been impressed by Hap's collection. I always tended to forget his name, but he did a lot of little social media releases. That's when I first heard about him. I don't really know if you could find those anymore, honestly, but I that's the first time I'd seen his stuff. And I'm a huge fan of his collection. It's really neat, Ken, that you got to actually see it. Yeah, rubber mallet won't do anything other than dent the case more. It just springs right off the case, trust me. If the flyback goes out on one of my G3s, I'll put it in a 1U server case. I'm trying to think how you would do the video out on that. Well, I guess with the VGA out if it's a DV model. I guess you could do that. It'd be kind of neat, Nick. I couldn't bend it back when tried, obviously. I just ended up hurting myself. Well, like I said, I jumped up and down on mine. They'll take a lot of weight. Like, a lot of weight. But you've also got to be careful when you're stepping, otherwise you might dent it somewhere else. I literally stood on the thing and just rocked it back and forth for like an hour until it bent back into place. And I'm like 200 pounds. Even back when I got it in 2016, I haven't lost or gained weight since. But yeah, if you want to try jumping up and down on it, you might want to secure the hard drives and stuff and take the RAM trays out first. But give it a shot if you want. Yeah, the MacBook Pro with the cellular antenna, that was neat for sure, Jay. Definitely something to drool over. Are Haps and Sonny Dickinson buddies? I can't think right offhand who Sonny Dickinson is. But if you see his hands and backdrops, it's a good possibility there, Ken. Let's see here. Yeah, the Mac Pro case can definitely be used as battleship ammo. Matt, maybe I'll try it later. Yeah. Ugh. Ooh. I think Ken was talking something about the first generation MacBook Pros being in your lap. You're not kidding, Ken. This thing gets really hot in your lap. Oh my God. I've got a sweat stain in my lap. That's a Thigh Burner 3000, no kidding. This is an early 2008. This is the custom built one that I did 3 videos on. I was planning a 4th one. I haven't finished that one yet. I built this out of a mid 2007 with an 08 logic board and top case. It was a very fun video. This has got the super rare 2.6 gigahertz Core 2 Duo, which no one bought. They were extremely expensive apparently, and I don't even know if it was really an option that you could really choose. This is the 15-inch. It was an option on the 17, I think. I'm not sure on the 15. 15s were made with them, but it's so rare that not many people realize that the 2.6 ever existed. This also has a Colin Mr. board in it. He swapped the GPU out on it for me. So this thing, believe it or not, I use this as one of my daily computers. And it's running Mojave on it with Colin's patcher. Thank you, Colin. I'm a little sad Colin didn't make the video. But, yeah, he's in school. Quote of the day, I've got a sweat stain in my lap. Exactly. I'm donating my 1,1 to Colin. He's trying to get line to run on them. Cool, Dana. Yeah, I was thinking of sending one to Ethan, my 1,1 to Ethan, to let him borrow it. But Ethan says right now he's more focused on his studies. And by the way, if you guys don't know who Ethan is, Parrot Geek, aka the guy that did the USB injector and the column patcher, Ethan is actually doing the lion thing, and Colin's helping him out on it. It's Ethan's brainchild there. Ethan also did Firefox Legacy for having Firefox Quantum on 10.7 and 10.8, which is it's awesome. It's literally just Firefox Quantum, only it works on 10.7 and 10.8, which is really useful. The GPU died on mine, but Colin said he'll still use it. Yeah, that was one of the first Macs, Intel Macs. They had the failing GPUs. The X1600 was a hot one. Mine still, luckily, still works. I got my 1,1 a while back, literally to do a video on how it's still very useful today as a Windows computer. But I'll probably be using it for the Lion upgrade video whenever they get that out too. And I can also show how it's still useful with 10.6 too, which is pretty cool. Jay, blasphemy. I agree. They should put bay trails in the air. The air is pretty useless to begin with in the first place, but James, you also have to remember the air's fan doesn't blow on anything. I think it's the air. It might have been the MacBook. No, it was the air. The new air's fan doesn't even blow on anything. There's no reason why they even put a fan in the darn thing. It's a joke, really. Linux greater than Windows. Debatable, Nick. Linux is it has a learner's curve for sure. It can be a lot lighter than Windows for sure, but I do use Linux, of course. I am one the admin for the PowerPC Linux on PowerPC Max group and stuff. I do Linux. It's a great way to revive a PowerPC system, but I'm still kind of rusty. And the first Linux system I ever used was Yellow Dog Linux, or no, iPod Linux on the original Clickwheel iPods, iPod Linux, which was literally a Linux version of the Apple. It's like Rockbox. Rockbox is also technically Linux too. And then Yellow Dog Linux I used on a PS3 for a while before the update came out that killed that off. I was just experimenting with it anyway. I wish I'd had proof, because then I would have gotten, what, $10 in the mail a few months ago. That would have been pretty cool. But yeah, I've been using Linux for a long time and I still really suck at it. iPod Linux writes down new episode idea. Yeah, it was really, really popular in the iPod modding scene, which was a small scene in the mid 2000s. I was part of it. I myself didn't do any of the code, but I showed a lot of people how to do it. You could even play video on black and white iPods and stuff. I've still got my original iPods with iPod Linux laying around somewhere. I need to do a video on that. It doesn't. The project doesn't exist anymore. It's hard to find. I still have the original files. If you want to do that, Ken, I can probably find you a copy to send to you. Really neat. It was originally supported for the first through third gens, and then someone hacked it. It was called Freddie Mercury's iPod Linux. and that worked from the 4th gen through the 1st generation Nano, I think. And then shortly thereafter it died out. That was probably in late 2007. I think they actually did get it out on the iPod Video 5th gen too. But Rockbox, Rockbox is even better. iPod Linux can be really heavy. It was slow, but it was neat. And it came out before Rockbox. I think Rockbox was based off of it, honestly. But Rockbox is really neat because if you wanted to play, for instance, videos in black and white on the black and white ones, you had to convert the video to a special AVI file first that would not play on anything but iPod Linux on those devices. And it was a pain. But with Rockbox, you can use, I can't remember what it is, I think it's MOV files, and it will play any video, and it will play it in black and white, which is really neat. And it looks better on Rockbox than iPod Linux, because iPod Linux would pixelate everything really bad. Believe it or not, you could watch video on a black and white iPod, and it was actually pretty enjoyable. It was cool to have that back before, I did actually I did have an iPod video by then, I think. But I enjoyed playing a video on those more than I did the video. And I even played it on the iPod Photo / Color. Really neat. Very pretty screen for that. In a way, a bit sharper than iPod video screen. Pretty neat, Ken. If you want to, just text me, and I'll see if I can find it. I'll send you some info about it. Real neat. I think I might still be running iPod Linux on a Mini somewhere too. I definitely know my main Mini's running Rockbox on it, and it's got a 128 gig flash drive, compact flash in it, which is it's fun. I love that little Mini. But yeah. I really want to do an episode on the Zune if anyone has one they're not using. Zune was actually, I thought, a pretty neat product. It just had awful software and Microsoft. The iPod was better, except the last Zune I think was real top-notch quality. The funny thing about the Zune and the iPod Video of the time, they both used the same exact hard drive in them, both Toshiba ZIF drives. They were actually pretty similar on the insides. Zune was pretty neat. It was just the software sucked for it. I never had a Zune, but I used the Zune software on Windows, and it was so buggy. But it was, at the time, the only way I could access the songs I'd bought from Microsoft on Xbox, which I only did that once, I think. But I needed Zune software to download it at the time. Zune software sucks. James has a 30 gig. Neat. iRiver. Nick, that's a Rockbox system. iRiver is really neat for Rockbox. Yeah, I am too, Matt. That would have been cool for the Nanos. The iOS 7 upgrade. That would have been neat. I wish they had done it for the 6th gen. I wish they had added more watch faces. I wish they would have, let you unlock it. Because I'm thinking the very last hackable Nano was the 2nd gen, and it was semi-hackable. You could run Rockbox on it. I run Rockbox, come to think of it, on my 2nd gen Nano. That enables video on it. I like playing. Every screened iPod I own could play video. That was my whole purpose of putting those on there, so I could play video on them, just to show people it could be done. But the 6th gen Nano is the only one that I have that's not hackable. I wish you could play video on that. I know I'm weird, but yeah. I did not know that the iPod Video has the same GPU as the Raspberry Pi. That's cool. Didn't know that. Just like PC, cool hardware, awful software. Yeah, I'd agree. Although, Jay, I still do use Windows 10 a lot. Shoot, Ken even uses Windows 10 a lot. He was one of the first beta testers, too. I was a beta tester. He was a beta tester. In fact, that might have been one of the first Ken videos I ever watched. Was his beta testing videos. I, at the time, had already been doing it before I watched those. But seeing those pop up on YouTube, I think that might have been one of the first ones. That was 5-6 years ago. Then again, I think I'd been watching Ken a bit longer than that, but I can't remember what it was. So, I use Windows 10 a lot. You used to, and you still do. You do installation sensations and stuff sometimes with Windows 10. It's an okay operating system. I have a bunch of PCs in this house. In fact, spoiler alert, I'm building a Ivy Bridge system, which of course is a PC. It's going to be a PC. I'm going to build a PC. 3770K system, something I wanted to do for years now. I inherited Dad's 3770K system, and it's in bad shape, and it's got an H77 motherboard in it. So I just bought a Z77 motherboard so you can actually overclock the darn thing, and I'm going to put it in a modern day case and do an RGB build sometime in the next few months. It's going to be my first PC video in like 3 or 4 years. So I hope someone at least is looking forward to that. Yeah, I believe that, Ken. I don't use Windows a whole lot anymore anyway. I use Mac OS mostly, but most of my Intel Macs at least have boot camp of Windows 10, and you can run Windows 10 on any Intel Mac, even if they say it's not supported. You can do it and get all the drivers to work and stuff. I have a lot of tutorials on it. And it's useful because when I need Windows, I just boot into it. I don't have to worry about parallels and stuff, and all the hardware works. So, it's still useful to have Windows around. In fact, I needed it yesterday when I formatted one of my SSDs, and for some reason, disk utility wouldn't let me completely format it. So I had to boot into Windows on a Mac and go into Partition Wizard or Partition Magic or something like that and format it that way. So yeah, it's still good to have Windows sometimes. In fact, we're streaming off of Windows right now. So yeah, my Macs can't, I don't have anything at least reliable enough. I do have them powerful enough, but not reliable enough to stream this as well as it's streaming right now. This definitely can stream, so that's what we're doing. We're doing it on a PC. Nick says I use any OS I have in front of me. Yeah. Well, guys, I know we still have like 20 some minutes to go, but the whole stream's starting to wind down. I think we should start getting ready for the premiere. I enjoyed taking over Mac Yak for the day. I think we're going to wrap everything up. Come join me on the premiere. The link's in the description. If you click on it right now, the queue should be there. So if you want to test it out real quick. If I need anything done, I use Windows 8. Don't judge me. I like Windows 8. I do too. I like 8.1. And I use Start 8 in Windows 8. It made it useful. I honestly liked 8.1 over top of 7 for everything except I liked having a DVD maker in the Pro and Ultimate editions of 7, which you didn't get in, well, and Home Premium Edition, which you didn't get in 8 because of the licensing things. But honestly, I think I liked 8.1 better than 7. Honestly. I'm one of those weird people too. So I feel ya. I said if I needed to use it. So yeah, guys, I think we're about to wrap everything up. Did I hear something? So yeah, we're going to wrap everything up and get ready for the premiere. Thanks, guys, for joining me on Mac Yak today. And if you haven't subscribed, if you're from my channel and haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And thank you for joining. And, you know, click that link in the description. In fact, I'll put it in the chat real quick. Let's see here. If it loads on this darn... My Wi-Fi is just not working at all. Wait a second. I'm going to put a link to it. Also, even though it's in the description, I'm weird like that. Do. Also, even though it's in the description, I'm weird like that. Like that. Do. Enter. Also, even though it's in the description, I'm weird like that. There it goes. Alright, yeah, it's in the chat now, so just click on that, like that. We've already got at least one person saying first on the video. Yeah, Nick. Cool. Cool to see you over there, Nick. But yeah, guys, thank you for joining me on Mac Yak today. I feel very happy. I think the stream went very well, and I am surprised my internet held out. This is awesome. The premiere is starting in 7 minutes, so Matt and Jay are already on there, so I'll see you guys there. And yeah, thanks guys for joining, and this has been a Hrutkay Mods / Mac Yak video. So I will definitely see you guys later, and see you guys later. Bye. I don't know how to end the stream. The go live button's gone away. Well, this is a great way to end the video. This is weird. Where's the stop stream button? Well, I can't stop the stream. This is a problem. I will see you guys in the premiere. I'm going to try to stop this stream. Thanks for joining. I'm just going to stop the stream on OBS and then try to stop it on here. See you guys. Bye.